Well, it's that time of year again. You're scrambling around trying to find gifts for your loved ones. And if you're anything like me, you always wait till the last minute. Well, lucky for you, I'm going to show you 5 last minute dollar store gift ideas that'll not only be easy on your wallet, it'll save your holiday season. Let's check out our haul. Picture frames, bottle opener, ice cream scoop, nutcracker, and some champagne glasses. Let's start with the ice cream scoop. I measured the handle, cut out a blank from some scrap maple I had, and I'm making sure to leave a couple extra inches at the end. Since the bottle opener is the same size, we'll double up on it. Next, I took it to the table saw and cut it down so the blank was perfectly square. For the nutcracker, I measured the length just below the center line and cut out 2 pieces of scrap walnut that I had. Now that I've got the blanks all cut out, I want to mark the centers on each one of them so I can get ready to put them on the lathe. Before I can get those blanks on the lathe, I need to free the ice cream scoop and the bottle opener from their plastic prisons. The ice cream scoop came out pretty easily, but that definitely wasn't the case for the bottle opener. It took a little bit more persuasion, you might say. But with the help of my trusty vise and some channel locks, I was eventually able to convince it to let go. With the bottle opener and the ice cream scoop out of the plastic, I could measure everything so I knew what size holes to drill. I set the depth stop on my drill press for the nutcracker blanks first. I drilled out the ice cream scoop and the bottle opener blanks next. I mounted the nutcracker blanks between my 4-prong drive and my revolving cone center. Then I turned them down with my carbide tool that I got from my buddy Chris Martin. It's perfect for jobs like this. I wanted the ice cream scoop and the bottle opener to last quite a while, so I decided to put some collars at the top of the handles. I used an old piece of copper tubing that I had and cut down 2 pieces that were about 3/4 of an inch long. After I cut the collars, I cleaned them up with a file and some sandpaper. I mounted the blank on my lathe and got it to round with my roughing gouge. Then I stopped, measured where the collar would go, and switched to my carbide tool to finish it off. While I was turning the tenon for the collar, I'd stop from time to time and check with my dial caliper to make sure that I wasn't removing too much material. Before I finished turning the handles, I needed to attach the collars to the top, so I mixed up some 5-minute epoxy and glued the copper collars onto the top of the blanks. While the epoxy on the ice cream scoop handle was curing, I cut the nubs off the bottom of the nutcracker blanks, sanded them, and then touched up the finish. I'm using OB's Shine Juice on all these pieces. I mixed up another batch of 5-minute epoxy, smeared it on the legs of the nutcracker, and then installed the beautiful new walnut handles. And now that the nutcracker's done, I set my sights back on the ice cream scoop handle. Now since I have to turn 2 of these and they're both basically identical, I'm just going to show you how I did the one. I did it all with my carbide tool and then sanded and finished it with Shine Juice. Now unfortunately my camera battery decided to die, but rest assured that I used that epoxy I was mixing up to attach the ice cream scoop and the bottle opener in their respective handles. I sanded the bottoms, touched them up with Shine Juice, and they were good to go. Next up is the picture frames, and the only thing I need out of it is the glass. It's actually cheaper to go to the dollar store and buy a picture frame, take the glass out, and throw the rest away than it is to go to the big box store and buy a pane of glass. Now there are tons of different ways to make picture frames, so I'm pretty much just going to glaze over this. If you're interested in how I do it, I'll leave you a link to my picture frame making video. If you're going to set yourself up to make one picture frame, you might as well make a bunch of picture frames. It's just as easy to make a whole bunch as it is to make one. Even if you don't need them at the time, they're great to have on hand. Just let them sit on your shelf till one of your wife's friends has a birthday, and then give her a picture frame. I like to spline the corners of all the picture frames I make. Not only does it look nice, but it also adds some strength. In this case, I used walnut splines on the cherry double frame and also on the oak 8x10s. I cut the splines off with my little flush trim saw and then sanded them smooth on the belt sander. Once the splines were nice and flush, I sanded down the frames, laid out for all the hardware on the back, applied a finish, you guessed it, it's shine juice again. Then I installed all the mounting hardware once the finish was dry. I like to make my own little tabs to hold the backer boards in out of thin aluminum strap. With the frames done, there's only one thing left to build. For the last project, I started with a piece of 3/4 inch plywood that was 12 inches square. This is going to be a wine glass holder that mounts over a wine bottle and holds 4 glasses. And just like with the picture frames, if you're going to make one of these, you might as well make 2. So I used some double-sided tape and stuck another piece of plywood underneath. I started by drilling all 5 of the large holes, which are 1 3/8. Then I switched to a 1/2 inch Forstner bit and drilled the small holes. I cut the rest of it out on the bandsaw, but you could easily do this with a jigsaw or even a handsaw. I used 2 different sized drums on my oscillating spindle sander to sand all the insides, and then I went to the disc sander so I could round over the ends. At this point, I was ready to separate the 2 pieces, remove the tape, use a 1/4 inch round over in my router to ease the edges, sand them down on the outsides as well as the insides where the glasses go, apply a finish, and then we're all set. Just to recap all the awesome projects, we've got a nutcracker, we've got an ice cream scoop, which you can see works fabulously. We've got our bottle opener with the same maple handle as that ice cream scoop, so it makes a nice set. We've got those picture frames that come in handy for random presents, and we've got the wine glass holder, perfect for a New Year's Eve party. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to give you a few holiday gift ideas. You really don't have to spend a lot of money to give somebody something meaningful, especially if you put some time and effort into it. It's really going to make that gift that much more special. And, going to the dollar store this time of year might be a little hectic. You might have to elbow your way through a few Dandy Prats to get to the stuff that you need. But, it's a small price to pay for the happiness of your loved ones. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.